welcome everybody here to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. My name is Andrew Valentin, and I hope you're all having a fantastic Friday. We are, of course, coming to you live here from the Illinois Media School here in the O'Hare campus itself. It has been a very terrible, rainy kind of a day, but at least it's not freezing outside. So that is a plus side, I guess, for us here in the Midwest Chicago area. Still sucks, though. I would kill for some sunshine just once. Like, and not like hot sunshine, like just like it's out. Like, it can still be cool outside. I just want to see sun. I hate living in Seattle during this part of the year. Not that Seattle's a bad place. I like Seattle.
God, you're going to get us banned off another app because last week it was Detroit.
Shut up, Scotty! We're not bringing up Detroit anymore because apparently the internet is fully in support of them. And Bijan still has the line of the week of last week. That's still fantastic. With me, of course, in the back, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the crew. We've got Scotty, we've got Nick, we've got Jessica, and, of course, Bijan, the Boom crew, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, as always, guys, for helping me out. Hope you guys are doing fantastic back there. And make sure to give them a shout-out, too, guys, because I wasn't here for any of the first show, really, until the very end, and they killed it running this stuff. So please make sure, give them some likes, give them some loves. Absolutely. Round of applause for these guys. Did a heck of a job. And of course Antonia's not here with us, but she was doing it too. So, Scotty, you're already on double secret probation. We'll put you on triple.
I'm never getting off probation.
No, you're not. No, you're gonna have to keep coming to your probation officer right here, and we're gonna have to keep having this discussion about, do you have a job? No. Okay. Well, you know what? Better find one soon, or you're going back to jail.
I have a job.
Well, yes.
I live and breathe and die for X-Bomb Sports.
Thank you.
And all of their productions.
Oof, man. Hey, I was going to say, anybody else feel those lips right on their cheeks? Because, man, I sure did. I don't think I've ever been kissed up to that much ever on this show.
Please send help.
Wow. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got a fun one for you today. Obviously, we've got NBA talk to kick this off, and then we're getting into all the NFL stuff because the news has just been kind of pouring out as of late. So, ladies and gentlemen back there, are you ready to get into this?
Absolutely.
Let's do it then, folks. So we're kicking this one off with the Milwaukee Bucks in the NBA because the news has spread like wildfire that the Milwaukee Bucks, as of this moment, they are now hiring Doc Rivers. He is the new coach. We have heard that Adrian Griffin, after 43 games, was officially dismissed, a.k.a. fired, from the Milwaukee Bucks coaching staff. He is no longer there, and they're now hiring on Doc Rivers. But obviously, from the very get-go, when we heard this news, the first thing I put out as a tweet was, this has to be Ime Udoka level. It just seemed very odd, right? When you looked at everything that he had accomplished to this point, he is a well-renowned, very successful name within the game as an assistant. Many people were vouching for him to be a head coach. There was so much with Adrian. I mean, we were talking about him being maybe the next guy for the Bulls because of he obviously has ties to being a former player in Chicago. A lot of people were really in support of that. I myself was really big for Adrian Griffin. I thought he's perfect. He builds on young players. That's kind of his MO. This is a team that's rebuilding. I was totally in vibe with that. Well, Adrian Griffin takes over for Mike Budenholzer, who obviously lost his job because they lost to the 8th seed Miami Heat, who went on to win a championship. But nevertheless, you have kind of a fatal collapse in the playoffs like that, kind of see where Mike Budenholzer would have gotten the axe, I guess. I don't know. I would have been a little bit rushed to judgment on that, sure. But Adrian Griffin, in 43 games with Milwaukee, I mean, I would say he did a pretty solid job to some extent, right? I mean, 30-13, strong-looking record. They're second in the East, just behind, obviously, the mighty Boston Celtics. They're first in their division, number one in scoring. The only part that they really seemed to lack at was they were 22nd in defense, where last year they had finished 4th. And I believe I don't think they ever stepped out of the top 10 at all last year in terms of defense. Like, they were and have been one of the strongest defensive teams in the league for a long time. Now, obviously, the whole situation, and me and the guys have kind of talked about this a lot in the back, right? The whole Terry Stotts comes in from Portland, and obviously Dame's a big fan of his, and Dame comes to Milwaukee, and then Terry Stotts is like, I don't really want this job, and it's and now, okay, well, who you bringing in? Well, now here's Adrian Griffin. And it seemed like they were very much in support of like, okay, Griffin's our coach. We're down for that. Somewhere along the line, though, it's now being reported that I guess they were not gelling. Chemistry was off. Practices were weird. Management apparently at the very end, according to Chris Haynes, a reporter for the NBA, who can give all that information, he was saying that apparently GM, ownership, president, all were on the practice floor. And that when that happens, be it either a NFL team, NBA team, when your management's sitting on the court or on the field or whatever, there's a problem. Not always, but especially like they said, like they were sitting there, they were taking notes. That's a problem. That's a huge issue. So obviously, this has become the very big news of the NBA. It's become the new drama of the league now, and I'll put it to you guys, obviously. I mean, you see what Adrian Griffin does. We now have the news that apparently Doc Rivers is officially the new head coach. That's locked, stocked, and barreled. He's in there. I know Scotty has his certain feelings on it. Nick, I know we kind of talked about that a little bit on Blow the Whistle with the situation going on there. But from your guys' standpoint, I ask you two big questions. I mean, your initial thoughts on the Adrian Griffin firing, good or bad, or what do you think on it? And obviously now the hire of Doc Rivers, on what your feelings are with that moving forward for Milwaukee.
So I'm going to bring my fandom into here. I hate it. I mean, I understood.
Well, you're a Milwaukee Bucks fan, to clarify.
Yeah, yes.
Correct.
I understood that there were a lot of problems in the locker room respecting Adrian Griffin. You talked about at practices with the management needing to be there. A lot of that was because the players basically just started to run all over him.
Yeah.
And they were able to ask for whatever they wanted. The thing about when Terry Stotts came in, I loved the hire. And it was after, I think, maybe 2 or 3 preseason games, he was just like, I don't want to do this. There's a problem in the locker room. So that late into the season, having to bring up a new coach, obviously that's the first problem.
Mm-hmm.
Then when he comes in and you got guys like Giannis and Brook Lopez who reportedly didn't want to run the defensive scheme he had, not because it wasn't working as well, but also because they know that they've had success in the last defense. They literally told them, we shouldn't be running this. We should be running what we used to, which that's an assessment to make. But at the end of the day, you go what your coach wants to do. Mm-hmm. You don't just completely not play what he's trying to do.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you at least somehow follow the coach. Yeah. You kind of fall in line. You at least try it. At least try to fall in line with it. You may not always like it, but it may work if you give it a chance.
Yeah, and then the other big one that came out was Dame reportedly asked for a lot more minutes, especially in the first quarter, to try to set the tone before the bench comes in, which you understand it. But there's a lot of in the locker room situations that I know where we don't know. There's a lot of conversations we may never hear about.
Yeah.
So I don't mind getting rid of them because they weren't playing great defense, and you could see it. This is one of the best defensive teams that we see. When you have Giannis on a team that's 22nd in defense, that's unheard of. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a definite. Well, it's an odd message for sure on how it looks for Milwaukee when he was he two-time defensive player of the year, right? So I mean, you're talking about one of the best right now in the game. Maybe one of the best when it's all said and done. Who knows?
Lopez was a runner-up last year.
Yeah.
Too, so.
Yeah.
Perennial first-team all-defense.
It was losing Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday's off the team now, but you had Drew Holiday.
Losing him could have been a big deal as to why they're 4th now, 20th.
Not really, because Drew Holiday's defending has gone down over the last couple of years.
I mean, as he's gotten older, but he's been the premier perimeter defender for them, and that's been I think, their biggest hit, right? I mean, you can see they're letting a lot of threes now get by them. He was if anything, you could always say he was the guy that kind of set up the lead for the point guard to say, okay, I'm going to challenge you at least to take the ball off. Like, you got to find a way to get it out. I'm going to try and shut down your passing lanes. And then this way, it allowed Giannis to come off and get the steal, or it allowed Middleton to come off and get it set up the Bucks so that they could go and get those fast break points and charge down the court and make those attempts, just dunking it on it. I mean, it allowed them to go fast-paced with things. So, but Nick, from your perspective, I mean, your thoughts on this and everything, and then we'll get into the Doc Rivers kind of stuff.
It just showed me that this is still NBA is a superstar-led league. Because when I saw this, I was coming out of work, I just saw the push notification that the Bucks coach is fired. Like, wow, why? They're 30-13. They're second in the league. Sure enough, it's just because, Giannis just kind of doesn't want him, kind of doesn't like him. The superstars are taking advantage of it. Rightfully so, maybe not. However you want to see it in that perspective, I just kind of saw that was very interesting. The Bucks are going to have 3 coaches now on their payroll. Is Doc Rivers really the answer? I think he's a good leader of men in that situation. He can kind of just put his feet up and recognize that the talent is going to just rise to the surface on this situation. But kind of just like I said, reestablishes the idea that this is just the NBA is just a superstar-led league led by the players, and rightfully so. I mean, LeBron James has been a GM for the past 15 years, for crying out loud. Like, we're just going to sit here and ignore that. It's just crazy. Well, like I said, I'm trying to land the plane here. Just kind of just say that the fact that it's very, very unfair that this is his rookie season as a coach. He's basically winning at a 70% clip, and he gets canned. So I somewhere down the line, something has to be figured that out right. I mean, I hope that this doesn't be a dark stain on his reputation as a coach.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's so odd because obviously you see the success he has. You understand that there are certainly rifts in the locker room, but you would think, well, you're still winning. So I guess it had to have been pretty serious to get to that point where you say a little more than halfway through the season, you say, okay, you got to go. Like, there had to have been an argument that took place. Somebody's holding somebody back. Like, something had to have happened to that extent. I refuse to believe that it was just like, oh, we had a few spats here and there. We didn't agree on things. No, something broke down in communication, and there was.
I mean, clearly Giannis has been frustrated.
Yeah, absolutely. No, he
whole,
looks.
8-minute rant the other day in the locker room about everything. So there's frustration all over the place. But like I said, it's kind of crazy when you're 20 games above 500. It's just
right. Well, and by the way, for Giannis too, ESPN put out that article. I don't know if anybody else saw it. The one that says Giannis didn't know anything about this.
Yeah, and apparently he liked him too.
That's what I had heard. Is that he was like, this is my coach. I put my stamp of approval on this.
I think that's just his good guy mentality.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, you got to remember, like, Giannis started as, like, the quiet European dude and has now become so Americanized in terms of, like, I'm going to talk smack on you. I'm going to jaw with you. I'm going to swear at you. Like, Giannis has really become
the 50-piece with the Sprite.
He's just got that mode now where he can just flip a switch and he'll play the nice guy, I think, when he has to.
I'm Greek. I'm sorry I said that.
Yeah, yes. And also, I don't know about this whole rumor on Adrian Griffin wanted to get rid of his brother, Thananis, or whatever it is, I believe. And
that would be
if that's so petty.
That's one of the reasons why he got fired.
Yeah.
He actually got 4 starting All-Star votes.
I'm not surprised.
Players voted for Thanasis to be a starter.
I'm not surprised if that really was a story that broke through. If there's any truth to that, that's super petty. I think on Giannis. Like, I know it's your brother.
I'll tell you what, though, Andrew. You know what this does remind me of? It reminds me of the 2016 Cavs.
Yes,
a lot.
David Blatt getting fired, Tyrod Lue taking over. Obviously, Cavs went on and won.
It's about the same situation. I believe the Cavs fired their head coach with 11 losses on the season.
Yeah.
So with the Bucks sitting at 13 when it happened. Mm-hmm. Actually, are they still?
Yeah,
they're still at 13. They won the other day.
Still at 13.
Obviously, the parallels are right there. The comparisons between
absolutely.
two are there.
Absolutely. Well, that's the thing is, right, you go back to those stories and they're like, well, what happened between David Blatt and, LeBron James? And that was the big thing is that, well, LeBron respected David Blatt as a coach like anybody would. He's been highly successful in basketball, be it Europe, into the NBA. He's had success. It's just when it comes down to it, is he a championship caliber coach? That's always going to be like the ultimate question that hangs over David Blatt, right? You won games, but you didn't win the championship. They had to bring in Tyronn Lue, which, by the way, I was fully convinced at that point that Tyronn Lue was just like along for the ride kind of thing. Like he did not really help them win the title. I will say now I think he has certainly grown more as a coach with the Clippers. He's helping them win. He's helping them be better. But ultimately, I agree with you, Scotty. The David Blatt, LeBron James situation, it could have been the same thing. It just seems odd when you're still winning. And this is a coach that he's not really as aggressive as I would say as like David Blatt was. David Blatt would get in players' faces and yell at them. He did it to Tristan Thompson all the time. He made sure those – you okay, buddy? That's our man David Dykstra, ladies and gentlemen. David, we love you, amigo. Appreciate it. The whole Milwaukee Bucks situation. But okay, now we got Doc Rivers, right? He's now the new head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, and we know his resume, right? He's won a championship with the Celtics in 2008. He's known to control the personalities of veteran players. He did it with Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett. He's done a lot in terms of putting together teams and helping them be winners. He did it in Orlando. He did it in Boston. He did it in L.A. The biggest question that's going to stand in front of him, of course, is going to be, well, in the last few years he's been in the playoffs, he's not been able to push them to the finals, right? He has always been missing them just by this much. Like, he just needs one more player, it always seems like, to just get over the hump. Or he makes one bad decision as a coach. He subs somebody in. He makes a wrong call. He overthinks it, I think, at times. So I guess the ultimate question being is, with this team being, I would say, still of championship caliber, win now mode, like this is a win now type of move you make. Can Doc Rivers take this team to the top? Can they get past the Celtics? Can they be the team that comes out of the East to win an NBA championship, especially being this year with how tumultuous this is? I from where I stand, it is always a possibility, of course, but I mean, Doc Rivers has also shown like there's what's the old adage? You choked. You can't. You have to be able to get it done in the biggest moments, right? The Eastern Conference Finals, we've seen him every time. There's something that happens, and I always say it's Ben Simmons, but, that is what it is. Or it's, Rajon Rondo makes a bad pass, or it's always something, it seems. But in terms of, I like the hiring, but this is kind of where Doc Rivers and the Milwaukee Bucks are like, okay, forward, we got to push now. Because, Giannis is 28, 29, right? Lillard's 34, going to be 35. I believe Middleton is like 34, 35, going to be in that range, right? Your team's getting older. You got to start looking to get the younger players in there, and they don't have a lot of younger players. They have a lot of veterans. So, I don't know. From where I stand, it's possible. If I had to put like a percentage on it, I would say I think the Bucks have maybe like let's give them like an 18 to 20% chance of maybe winning a championship. I know Scotty doesn't like the move. Scotty, explain your side to it though on why you don't like Doc Rivers with the Milwaukee Bucks. Because I just want to know.
For all the things you just mentioned, he gets so close but doesn't take his team over the hump. And I've seen him with so many better teams not being able to do it.
I think there's better teams that he's had than this Bucks squad?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. That is insane. I don't think so.
That Celtics team in 08 might be the closest one.
Celtics 08.
Giannis would wipe the floor.
Not
with
KG.
In the
Not with KG.
I mean,
that'd be a.
Well, Kevin Garnett.
Here's
the thing. Kevin Garnett is the precursor to Giannis.
Yes.
He is the model in which Giannis is built on.
The 08 squad, I'll give you that, I think, but I don't any of
those Clippers
squads, I think that the Milwaukee Bucks would run right through them. I mean, that's kind of crazy.
I just have to agree with that.
I think Doc Rivers is a good enough bus driver to see all this talent and kind of just let them go, as long as he doesn't put his foot or mess it up in the ways that you've said, where like, oh, he calls it, or he doesn't call a timeout, or he makes the wrong substitution, like you were mentioning. But
right.
There's a similar blueprint to this 08 squad, where you see Damian Lillard, and he can not only do the similar Ray Allen things, but he can dish the ball out like Rajon Rondo does. You have a big guy like Kevin Garnett playing in Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
And Chris Middleton is just, I feel like he's like an all-around type player.
When he's on the court, that's the problem with him.
No,
well, yeah, he's got to be healthy.
Okay, so that's my problem with it. The Bucks have a lot of players that get injured. They have a lot of players who are on hot streaks and cold streaks.
Right.
Looking at you, Bobby Portis.
Fair.
Come around the playoffs,
That's the thing. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Usually when the
Doc Rivers
playoffs
is your
come,
head coach, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And that's what scares me about it.
Okay.
I don't think the Bucks are deep enough.
Okay.
Also, I think if they go up a team against like the Celtics, I think that they destroy them with depth. Obviously, that's a series, but with Doc Rivers, it made me just lose so much more faith in them.
Okay.
Honestly, I said the other day, if they did go up against the 76ers in the second round, I would probably take the 76ers in 7 games.
Who would have been the better hire?
Okay.
I have no clue what you would have done for a hire. I mean, it's
such
a weird situation where
Right.
I'm not completely sure who they could have brought in.
Well, Prunty
was
was not going to be the answer.
If you could choose anybody, who would you want?
Kenny Atkinson.
Okay, there you go.
That's who I would have wanted. I would have wanted Kenny Atkinson.
Okay.
But the problem is because you're firing him mid-season,
Right.
no team is going to let you take him.
Right. Well, and that's
team is going to let you take any of their guys that are – because that was their criteria. When they came out that they wanted a new head coach, they said that they wanted someone with experience. And it's like, okay, well, there's only one guy who you're realistically going to get, and that's Doc Rivers.
Right.
Everyone else who has experience is an assistant coach, and no one's going to let you talk to them.
Yeah, well, that's the difficult thing too, right? And listen, Kenny Atkinson would have been a great hire for them. Obviously, it bodes. It doesn't bode well for Milwaukee, obviously, when this kind of stuff happens, because this could easily also throw off everything, right? It shouldn't be the derailer, but it easily could be where like things might get wonky, because every guy in that locker room will tell you, and they've all said, we love and respect Doc Rivers, as he is amongst the NBA world. Everybody in the basketball world loves Doc Rivers, I think, at this point. Well, aside for a few people, maybe here and there. But
it's not Blake's fault.
It's not Blake. It's all of us. But I think that Doc, like Nick, you said, I think you have a good point. Like, just ride the ship. Don't run it into any rocks. Look out for the icebergs, and I think we can have a good sailing. It's not to win the championship, but it's at least to steady the ship and make sure that camaraderie is there. Because ultimately, if you kept Adrian Griffin, who knows where this team ends up, right? Like, all of a sudden, Damian Lillard's asking for another trade. Maybe Giannis is looking to get out of Milwaukee potentially. Like, there's a lot that could happen in that situation. I don't disagree with you, Scotty, either, that, like, Doc Rivers could be, like, a bad hire. Maybe they don't make it that far in the playoffs because he makes a mistake here or there. But I think at the same time, remember, too, Jimmy Haslam is now, I think he's the new majority owner of the Bucks, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. I believe he's the majority owner of the Bucks. I know there's a lot of people that own the Bucks, including Aaron Rodgers and all that stuff.
And Christian Yelich does as well.
Yes, yes. But I believe that he's kind of like one of like the major. He's like the major figurehead of it, and I think he's a crazy owner, right? This is the guy that said, let's pay Deshaun Watson, even though he's got all these allegations of sexual assault against him. And even if he gets suspended, we'll still pay him, right? And by the way, it's a fully guaranteed contract. Like, that's the kind of owner you're dealing with. And I think he's just that guy that's like, okay, it's not working in the locker room. Then guess what? We're going to shake it up, and we're going to take on the guy that we believe is going to be the next man up that can take us to the level. It doesn't mean it's going to work, though. That's the thing. Like, Jimmy Haslam has already proven he makes a lot of decisions that do not always work. And I don't look, at the end of the day, I mean, where does Milwaukee go from here? I would say they can still win 50, 60 games easily. They've got the talent.
I think there's only 3 teams in the East you really got to worry about. They're one of them. And
yeah.
It would be, you need to actively try and be bad have an active collapse and for the Bucks to fall out of any sort of contention. So
Absolutely.
I'm trying to just tell you, like, as a Bucks, if you are the Bucks fan, you are the Bucks fan. It's not too bad.
I think it's.
I think
because for
your
me-
worry is for the
because for
playoffs,
me-
though. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's my worry.
Yeah.
And the thing with me is, you bring in Dame. The way I saw that trade was it's championship or
Right.
nothing.
It's
And
win
if
it's
they
win
get-
now
and
mode.
bringing in Doc Rivers, you're
Right.
getting closer to the nothing.
Well, yeah,
on that scale.
I mean, so far so good. Lillard and Antetokounmpo to the Eastern Conference All-Star starters, so that's pretty solid.
Yeah, and listen, the deadline is February 8th. They can still make a move. I think they're going to have to at least consider it, adding more guys to their defense and stuff, but they don't have a lot to also give up either, so they're going to have to try and figure that out as far as what's the next move for that Milwaukee Bucks team. So,
Do you know what the next move is? And apparently what I've heard, this is a rumor,
Okay.
but it is a very concrete rumor
okay.
that there is a trade lined up for DeJounte. But he's also rumored to go to the Lakers. So
Yeah.
it's like between those two.
Right.
So, but I don't know about that one either.
Well, that's the thing. Atlanta is the enigma right now in the NBA as far as what a move's going to make, because they're rumored to possibly trade Trae Young. They're rumored to possibly trade DeJounte. They're talking about possibly trying to still send Clint Capella somewhere. Like they're making it sound like they're going to clean house and start all over again, because I think they're looking at Jalen Johnson going, well, this guy's pretty good and he's emerging. So who knows, right? I mean, DeJounte in Milwaukee, that team should win 70 games. They should be unstoppable. They should be the ultimate team. So will they be? I don't think so. I don't even know if Milwaukee can make those moves anymore, because I don't know how many more assets they have left that they can actually give up at this point. So it'll be interesting to see how the Milwaukee Bucks play this one out. There's obviously a lot of talent on that team. Here's hoping that Doc Rivers can maybe get, what's it now going to be, his fifth chance in the league with another team. So we'll see. He improved. I would say he definitely improved teams in terms of coaching, but certainly the playoffs have kind of been an Achilles heel for him since 2008. So best of luck to the Bucks. I hope the Bulls can find a way to kill him, but that's just the Bulls fan in me. It's not going to happen. I'm willing to accept that.
So
Yeah.
it can't be the Pacers. So
I think it's between them, the Pacers, and the Cavaliers at this point. So, but we'll see. Milwaukee should now be the dominant force. If this is the coach, they should be the dominant force. Well, folks, obviously, let us know what you think about the Milwaukee Bucks situation. Firing of Adrian Griffin, do you think there's more to that story? Do you think Doc Rivers is the guy for the Milwaukee Bucks? Will he stumble once again in the playoffs, or will he finally ascend to the top once again? Obviously, let us know in the comments section down below. We want to hear from you guys, as always. And when we do come back here, ladies and gentlemen, we got NFL coaching to talk about, because, my goodness, if we just can't get some breaking news on the show for once, or on some shows for once, we're going to do it right now. That's coming up here on the X-Bomb Sports Live Show.
Man, I'm so hungry. I need somewhere to eat fast. I have no idea where to go.
Psst. Hola, me llamo El Taco de Taco. You know where to go for the amazing taste that'll have you craving more? Taco Bell.
All right, can I get 20 tacos, please?
You got it.
Thanks, Taco.
De nada.
Good. That's it. Eat the tacos.
Taco Bell. Live más.
Wear your best attitude. Feel the power. Run towards your goals. Make each footprint count. Believe in yourself. Mark the difference. Just do it.
Celsius.
the fastest growing energy drink in America. 0 sugar, low calories, and 200 milligrams of caffeine. Celsius is the ideal drink for anyone who wants to get the most out of their day. 4 distinct flavors: orange, kiwi guava, wild berry, white peach. Drinking Celsius prior to fitness activities has proven to accelerate your metabolism, burn body fat, and provide essential energy. Celsius. Live fit. The official drink of Chad Podcast.
And welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. I'm still Andrew Valentin. This is still the most wonderful show you can find on Twitch to talk about sports. I'm still here with the amazing Boom Crew themselves, Bjorn, Scotty, Nick, and of course Jessica. We just got done talking. About the Milwaukee Bucks situation, and Scotty got very heated. We had to cool him off there a little bit. My God, he does not like Doc Rivers. Yeah, exactly, man.
Whew. All right, I'm good.
You good?
I'm good now.
You good? All right.
I'm wearing my VOP shirt.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah, we just got done. Obviously, let us know what you thought about the Milwaukee situation. Now we're going to curve it back into the NFL because, of course, we got NFL news, and that is that we've got coaching hirings here, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. The coaching carousel continues. Well, we've just had a number of jobs just get filled up. The latest has been the Atlanta Falcons have now hired Raheem Morris, not Bill Belichick, as the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, which I think we all saw that coming, right?
No, I'm going to be honest. If you asked me like over the weekend, I would have said Monday Bill Belichick's the head coach of the Falcons.
Oh, of course, yeah. I think everybody was definitely looking and saying, well, they've talked to Bill Belichick for a second time. He seems to be the most qualified candidate. Why wouldn't you? He's arguably the greatest coach in the history of the NFL.
Well,
I mean,
Atlanta was like Oprah Winfrey's like, you get a second interview, and you get a second
Yeah, right.
interview, and you get a second
Bobby
interview.
Slowick got one, yeah.
14
Yeah,
interviews?
I think I got a phone call for a second interview.
It's crazy. They were really sifting through the entirety of that head coaching situation. But all right, Raheem Morris is the latest coach to be hired in the NFL, and
Give him a second shot. Give him a second shot with the team.
sure. I mean, listen. I mean, if you can give Josh McDaniels a second shot, I guess you can give it to Raheem Morris too, right? Or
And Raheem Morris actually wasn't that bad in 2020. He was only 4-7
yes,
in a half season. And so give him another shot and give him a team that's well more progressed than they were then.
sure. The problem I'm having here, though, is that I'm looking at this Atlanta Falcons team, at least at this point, right? I mean, when the draft happens, it'll be a different situation because they're going to need like a quarterback, defensive players. They're going to need to stack the boxes a lot more with better players. But I'm looking at Atlanta, and I don't think they're too far off from that Bucks team that he was coaching back in 2011, 2012. Ooh. And at least, again, that's to right now, which, I mean, you want to throw back to that, folks. We're talking about Josh Freeman was the quarterback. LeGarrette Blount was the running back with Cardell, Cadillac, Williams. Yeah, right?
That's an insane poll.
The late, great Mike Evans, who was probably one of the best receivers in Tampa Bay history up until to that point.
Oh, Vincent Jackson?
Yeah, and then they got Vincent Jackson later on. Kellen Winslow was also part of that team, too. I think the names that I'm sure a lot of people are
Was Dougie on that team?
Doug Martin?
Yeah.
No, Doug Martin came the year after. Yeah.
Oh.
He got fired, and then they hired Greg Schiano, I think it was, and then they took Doug Martin.
The running back.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
After Raheem Morris got fired,
whoa.
they hired Greg Schiano, and then they drafted Doug Martin in the first round with Mark Barron, too, by the way. Safety turned linebacker. Whoop-de-doo.
That's a crazy poll.
Yeah. Top 10 pick, right, from Alabama.
Dude's naming guys in a room.
That's the show name, by the way, now. Dudes naming guys in a room. That's great.
Andrew, you want to talk a little bit of rumor that I kind of showed you earlier? Nick was on camera, so I couldn't tell him.
Yeah. If you want to talk a little bit about that rumor, by all means.
Touchdowns for Doug Martin his rookie season. Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Crazy. I know.
So Bill Belichick obviously didn't get the job in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
There is a rumor that Andy Reid retires, and Belichick steps in.
Okay. Belichick steps in. I'm sorry, you
to Kansas City.
Yeah, no, I think that was the precursor. Someone was saying that Andy Reid just stepped down, and then Someone was saying Matt Nagy is going to be the next
No,
person that's
please
stepping
don't.
up. I really hope not, for the sake of just being a football fan and wanting good football. Yeah, I can see that happening.
I could see it happening this year.
Yeah.
Or maybe even next year. There's rumors of Bill Belichick taking a year off. You know?
Yeah. The difficult thing, I mean, listen, there's been a lot of different head coaching hires, right? We've got Brian Callahan, who's now in Tennessee, right? You've got Convoris, or however you say his name, the guy from Tampa Bay, the offensive coordinator. He's in Carolina. Canellis, sorry, Convoris. I don't know why that went in my head. Canellis is in Carolina. And so the last two jobs that are kind of open right now are Seattle and Washington, and they're waiting for the playoffs to be over because rumor is starting to spread that apparently, I guess Washington's really in love with Ben Johnson. They really want to hire him as the next head coach. And Seattle, it sounds like Dan Quinn is on the list, but the guy they really want is Mike McDonald, the defensive coordinator from the Baltimore Ravens. And
I've heard a lot of Vrabel for that job.
I've heard Vrabel as well, but he's like, I've heard him being lower.
He's not hired anywhere yet.
Well, and here's the thing, right? So Belichick, I mean, obviously, if he takes over for Andy Reid, you're going to one of the best teams in the NFL. That's an easy given that he should be able to step in there and they should be able to win pretty relatively the same way, right? Play great defense, Patrick Mahomes cooks. Like, that should be their whole thing, right? At the same time, though, because I got emails even beforehand after the hiring happened from fans that are like, why isn't Belichick getting hired? Why isn't Vrabel getting hired? My explanation to you all is going to be this. So with Belichick, I'll say I think a lot of it is there is now a gap between his ability to his coaching style and what players are like today, right? His coaching style certainly fit, I think, a lot in 2000, 2004, even 2014, right? Now we're in 2023. The mentality of a player is completely changed. I mean, I'm worked with them in high school. I can tell you right now, their mindset is completely different from when I was in high school and before I was in high school, where it was like, man, I just want to go to the best college possible and play really good football and party and stuff. Like, that has completely shifted over to image conscious, money conscious, career-wise, like, the mind has completely changed about a football player and how they view themselves.
And I think we were talking about this when Stafford was teammate. It's Stafford's disconnection with his own teammates. Like,
yes.
He's 40 and they're 20, and what? Belichick's 75 and they're 20. What in God's green earth? They have nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
He can be their grandfather. It can be their great grandfather at this point. So they have no connection other than football. So I can see where that can be, a trouble.
Problem,
yeah,
yeah.
huge trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, just to note something here, I can't believe this. Bill Belichick is only 71 years old.
Oh,
I was close when I say 75 just then.
Here's the shocking part. He's 1 year younger than Steven Seagal. I'm not joking on that. That's real. That's real. I'm not joking on that at all. I will pull this up right now because I swear to God. Oh no, they're the same age. Excuse me. Okay.
That's incredible.
Even still,
That's
I'm sorry,
incredible.
Belichick, who's not completely gray, but Belichick at least has a little bit of that salt and pepper thing going on for himself right now.
Vladimir Putin, 71. Liam
Yeah,
Neeson.
boys.
Yeah.
We're getting political.
Meanwhile, Steven Seagal, full jet black hair, full jet black mustache,
Sharon
and
Osbourne.
I'm
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Wait, that does not say.
And I'm sorry,
Mayweather Senior.
the guy talks like he's from New Orleans all of a sudden, or Baltimore. Like,
Mr. T.
There's something up with that man. But that Steven Seagal's for another one. But no, Nick, you bring up the good point though. Like, Belichick being an older generation coach, connecting with the younger players now, it's just not there. I don't think it's happening there at all. Like, I'm sure Christian Gonzalez would love to listen to Belichick and be coached by him because look at what you did to Stephon Gilmore and J.C. Jackson. That's great and all, but a lot of these guys want to show more individuality, and the Patriots have always been under Belichick were a team. And it's been unless you're Gronk or somebody who is obviously a spectacular player, showing your individuality has never been something that he's wanted. And Kansas City is full of personalities, and you have to be able to control them. Can he do that? Maybe, but they certainly respect Andy Reid to a high extent. And that's why they're so successful. I don't know if they would have the same thing with Bill Belichick. Now, Vrabel, I am shocked he didn't get a head coaching job, but I've said this again, and I say it mockingly, but at the same time, I do feel that there's a sense to it. I feel like Vrabel is just another version of what we see with a guy like Mike Zimmer. The difference is that he has more connection with players because he was a player, and that helps him a lot more than it does Mike Zimmer. But when you look at them, at least on the statistical aspect, the records are pretty much the same in terms of winning percentage, even though Zimmer was in the league a little bit longer than Vrabel has. Well, Vrabel's not out of the league, but, coaching-wise. Their playoff records are identical. And they both are guys who I feel like are very kind of like stubborn and like, this is the offense I want to run and this is the defense I want to run, and I don't want to make any adjustments. And I think when you're having that kind of mode, especially with defensive coaches have that mode. They're very conservative. They don't want to change too much, and that's fine. You can win games that way, but like you have to at some point make, I think, the shift to being a more passing team, especially now, right? You can't rely on Derrick Henry forever. And that was kind of, I think, a fault for Tennessee, right? Like, they continued to kind of lay on Derrick Henry. Meanwhile, you're not getting any other receivers outside of A.J. Brown to develop. You finally got Treylon Burks, but we don't know what he's going to be. Hopkins looked fine this year, but is Will Levis going to be the answer or not? He looks good, but who knows? Like, there's 1,000 questions that are going to stand with a defensive coach, I think, than there will be with an offensive-minded coach, right? And that just simply comes from the fact that a lot of defensive coaches, I think, are head fast on this is how I want to be, this is how I want it, and I don't want to move off it. So it's not that any of those guys are not qualified. It's simply that they are refusing to change with the times, and that's costing them a chance to get a job in a time where now everybody's looking for the young offensive coordinator, the young defensive coordinator, right? The guy that's willing to change things up and try and make plays rather than try and stick to the old-fashioned, like, 3 yards on a cloud of dust style. Scotty.
Or they're looking for the guy who just won the national championship. Which, I mean, listen, Jim Harbaugh going to the Chargers, we all kind of saw that coming, but at the same time, can any of us really sit here and say that that's the worst hire in the world? I don't think so. No.
I think I'm not a Bears fan anymore, but I was fully in support of. I mean, at the beginning, I was kind of like, I don't think the Bears should hire Jim Harbaugh. By this point, I was going, I think the Bears should definitely hire Jim Harbaugh. The problem is, though, did Jim even want the job? Does he even like Chicago? That's a big question mark, I think. I think he likes Chicago. I don't think he likes the McCaskies per se. But yeah, exactly. But him going to the Chargers, I mean, he's going to have all the resources in the world there to work with. They're going to have to figure out the salary cap situation, mind you, but you at least have a number one wide receiver there, potentially develop a number two. You've got an offensive line, a quarterback, and a defense that at least on paper looks good. I would say dump Derwin James at this point, but that's just me. He's an injury waiting to happen at this point, it seems, every year, and just a tackling machine, not a turnover machine. And you need turnovers. So, I mean, I like...
WWE. Derwin James, he should be in the WWE.
Absolutely, that guy would be. I think he'd be great for it. But from where I stand right now, I mean, of the hirings we've seen to this point, the Jim Harbaugh one is the most intriguing, of course. I like him going to the Chargers. I think it fits for him. He gets everything that he needs right now. And
Justin Herbert's the biggest winner of all of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he's not only the biggest winner; it's also like the clock has now started on him too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, all eyes are.
You got to think about that, because this is a coach that has been to a Super Bowl. He has turned around every program he's gone to. Right.
He comes in as the winningest head coach in
Yeah.
the NFL currently.
Yeah.
Because of his track record with the 49ers.
Absolutely.
So, you got to think they can start turning it around. But in my opinion, it takes a year.
Oh, yeah.
It takes a year because of the salary cap situation,
Right.
and all the cap they're going to have to shed, especially on the defense.
Yeah, because they're, 60 million, something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're deep.
I don't think
Eckler's probably gone.
I don't think Eckler's coming back. I mean, you're going to get another year of Keenan Allen. He's going to be 34, 35. Can Quentin Johnson catch a ball? I don't know. And then what's left of Mike Williams? He's coming off injury left and right. He's going to have another freshly repaired ACL after he just tore his other ACL the year before or something like that. He's been banged up. So I also don't believe that defense is all that's cracked up to be. And you're also in the AFC West, where you're going to see the Chiefs twice a year, the Broncos. While they're going to be bad, the defense is always good, and this Raiders squad is on the up and up, and I think honestly Antonio Pierce getting rehired as the Raiders head coach, that might be the more underplayed, under the radar moves of all year.
Oh, that had to happen
in the offseason.
That had to. Raiders can no longer say, okay, the interim coach that had success, we have to just let him walk away and we're gonna go hire. It's not working anymore.
They learned it with Rich.
Yeah,
they learned that they should have kept the Rich because he started a culture there. Almost got that. He got them into the playoffs, and then they let him go. They kind of learned from that, and we broke that last week when we were on here.
Absolutely. By the way, for anybody that's watching in the back, the sexy man that's sitting in the back, our bodyguard, Mr. Julius, is here, ladies and gentlemen. Just so everybody knows, he is available from what I understand. So. There you go, yeah.
Oh. Get out of the way. I'm getting out of the way.
Make sure you get your finder's fee.
Hey, I'm only saying it because I got 2 emails that were asking about you, so. Not joking. I ain't joking.
We're doing fan questions after. We should read those emails.
They were just simple. They were like, yo, who's the guy in the back with the muscles, and is he available? And I was like, in what sense? Like, what are we talking about? So.
Come get him. I just need $50.
Oh, man. Hey, I'm gonna keep it real with everybody out there. This has been the show that apparently has put together some relationships. We have one already. One of our producers and one of our show members actually found love on this show together. So this has been the show of connections out there. So it works for everybody. Yeah. Hey, it's fine. Trust me, it works for everybody else except for me. I can't get anything. All I get is yelled at.
xbombmingle.com.
Find us on the new app.
Coming to your app store.
Yeah. Blowing up your love life. All right. I love our fan. You guys, by the way, I can't say it enough. You guys are the best fans in the world for that stuff. I appreciate it so much. So, absolutely incredible. Absolutely. You guys are awesome. Really do appreciate it. You guys are amazing. As these guys in the back are as well. Well, except for Mr. Slow Clap over there. Don't worry, I still got your lips imprinted on my cheek over here. So. Oh yeah. Scotty was trying real hard to get on the good side.
I need to get off probation, man.
He's got to get off double secret probation. No, look, the coaching hiring situation for the NFL at this point. I mean, it has been a ragtag bunch of just trying to figure out who the next guy is. Predictions have been pretty predictable, I would say, at this point. You know, the few coaches that are still out there that could potentially still be hired, I think at this point they still need a little bit more. They need to show some more, right? Belichick, I think at this point maybe a little bit past his prime. Vrabel may need to go back to being a DC, I would say for like a year, maybe 2, to prove himself and say like, okay, you know what? This guy still has it. You know, somebody's going to give him a shot, I think, somewhere as a DC for sure. As a head coach, maybe it comes through in Seattle. It's tough to say. But because of the fact everybody's looking for the young hot shot, it's going to be tough for those guys to be able to secure their jobs, be it Washington. Because you feel like Belichick should be in Washington and Vrabel should be in Seattle, and they would work perfectly. And I'm sure they would. But everybody's looking for the new hot young thing. We all understand that. Everyone always is. It's tough to sell those guys, though, when that's now the new commodity in the NFL.
Yeah, there's only like 4 spots left. Realistically, like you were saying, like maybe 3 or 2 with the Commanders so hot and heavy for Johnson.
Yeah.
Can Vrabel? Is there any like college spots? Maybe Vrabel should be.
That's been talked about a lot.
Step down, to be honest.
I suppose, but then you could spin zone it any which way that you want to. In that case. I've heard even some Ohio State fans are like, "Hey, I know Ryan Day's not on the hot seat, but if that job was available, they wouldn't mind Mike Vrabel at Ohio State."
Oh, of course. Well, he started at Ohio State in his coaching journey. He was the defensive coordinator over there as a former alumni. They brought him back in. He did a really good job with that defense too. By the way, should give him a lot of credit. But I mean, he helped build the Bosas in a lot of ways. So get credit where credit's due for him for sure. I don't know, but that's the interesting thing. Like, if he was going to take a head coaching job in college, he needs to go to, like, the big program. And, like, I got one email from one moron. He's not going to Michigan. I don't know where you're getting. He's so the Ohio State scarlet, red, and silver. He's never touching that field as a head coach. If he did, they would burn him in effigy in Columbus.
Florida. I'll fire Billy Napier.
That's yours. You know what? It's not the worst in the world, but I don't know. Is he going to fit in that school? Is he going to fit with that culture?
No.
He certainly could, I think, galvanize those guys. But yeah, that's the thing. Is Gainesville is you need an Urban Meyer crazy person that can run the show there, I think.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And Billy Napier is not a crazy person. He's an analytics guy.
What about DC Chicago?
It's not bad. But
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
All right,
Well,
so it's pretty bad.
I said before on our radio show, I said this on Blow the Whistle, if you want more chaos, absolutely, that's what you do, right? Because Shane Waldron's been hired by the GM, so how does he connect with Eberflus? Now you're going to hire a former NFL head coach to be your defensive coordinator after he's been fired. How's that going to work with Eberflus? I mean, they've got the same kind of defense, yes, but one's going to think he's better than the other because he has a winning record, I think, because Vrabel does have a little bit of that ego and attitude. I don't know how that dynamic would work. I'd be interested. Listen, it'd be fun from a Bears fan's perspective.
It would be fun.
I think Bears fans would have fun with it. I'd have fun with it. Football fans would because it'd be like, oh, chaos, absolute chaos, and it might. Who knows? It might be good chaos for all we know. It'd be difficult to say that he would be willing to take that job. And again, is Chicago a desirable spot for him or for anybody to really look at right now? I think they're kind of looking at like not a first-time defensive coordinator, but somebody who's like, I really need a job, right? They're
going to go get vanilla Joe Barry.
Yeah, that's the fear, right? Is that they're going to just, we got rid of one Green Bay guy, let's bring in the other Green Bay guy. So, but there's still a lot more to go with this coaching stuff. There's a lot more that needs to be explored. But obviously, ladies and gentlemen, let us know. What do you think about the coaching hirings that have happened in the NFL? Do you agree with them? Do you not agree with them? Who do you think is going to be the next head coaches of Washington and Seattle? Let us know in the comment section down below. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, it's officially going to happen. The championship pick 6 or pick 2 at this point is happening. That's coming up next here on the X-Bomb Sports Live Show.
The Chicagoland area has a large number of lonely dogs currently filling shelter pens, just waiting to find a family. Nothing adds warmth to a home like a wagging tail and a warm pair of brown eyes. If you are considering adding a dog to your household, visit the Anderson Animal Shelter, where adoption counselors can assist you in selecting your new best friend. Make your house a home. Adopt a shelter dog. To see a current list of adoptees, visit their website at www.andersonanimalshelter.org or meet them in person at 1000 South LaFox Street in South Elgin. Don't have room in the home for a new furry family member? Donations of toys, collars, and soft or hard non-perishable dog food are always accepted and are greatly appreciated. All animals are spayed or neutered and are waiting with tails wagging to find a loving home. Visit 1000 South LaFox Street in South Elgin or www.andersonanimalshelter.org for more details.
Hey, watch your mouth. Why? I'll just put a quarter in the swear jar. Once it's filled, we get a Coors party after work. I've been drinking Coors since my college days. The cold draft taste is second to none. Yeah, worth the recorder, am I right? You know it, mother.
Hey, you get those reports done?
Yeah. No. You, sir. Attention, employees.
The staff meeting, scheduled for this evening, will now be held tomorrow early as
That is all. Dudes, we're only 75 cents short. Oh, shh. Where's the boss? Hey, sir, go yourself. You're fired!
And we are back here on the X-Bomb Sports Live Show, Loveline Edition.
This is it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we're back. I'm Andrew Valentine. I'm here with Nick Johnston. We've got, of course, our man Scotty Kiefer. We've also got Julius Daniel, right? Yeah. Luscious Julius Daniel. And Bijan. Bijan, what's your last name? Walton, okay, and Bjorn Walton, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got the hot crew in the back, the hot boom crew. He's spicy.
A little bit of spice.
Yeah. Nick, what are you doing?
What?
I saw it. You know what? Not the weirdest thing that's happened on the show. Still, not the weirdest thing that's happened on the show at all.
Sexy.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh man, I'm glad we're getting back to the fun.
That's
on
the
this
karaoke song.
That's the karaoke.
"Love Me Sexy" by Jackie Moon.
Wow. Okay.
I didn't mean to steal that song, Mama.
And here I was thinking it was gonna be Pony. So.
I'm talking rain for sweaty.
All right. Before we get into that stuff, ladies and gentlemen, we got some more sports we're gonna get into here, and it is time for the Pick 6, or in this case, the Pick 2, the championship game edition. We are picking the NFC, AFC championship games, and then we'll get into some fan questions here to kind of talk to you guys a little bit off sports, since we already have been. Scotty's posting up again, as you can see. I am the winner. I am the champion. And Scotty, of course, gave himself an award because he's got the best winning percentage, and he just needed. Everybody gets a trophy, I guess.
A 69 joke, man. But no, actually though, Andrew, your record is a little skewed. You're supposed to have one more loss. I forgot you picked.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, I'm being serious. I made the graphic in like 2 different stints last night.
Okay.
I was like, did he pick the Texans to win, or did he pick the Ravens? I thought you picked the Ravens, but you
I
picked
the Texans.
So I'll get it fixed for next week.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Just do your job, Scotty. All right.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Otherwise, I'm not giving any love to you in that case. So.
Whoa.
Yeah. All right.
NDA.
Ban us now, Facebook.
Yes.
Do your worst, Zuckerberg.
Oh, I'm gonna hold a grudge so hard now on this. I don't hold grudges. This is the one that I'm gonna hold for a little while now.
Every show is just.
We
got banned on Facebook this week.
Yeah. So, for those who don't know, obviously, if you're not seeing, we're not streaming on Facebook. However, the page is still available. I will get back the page. Do not worry. But the reason that apparently we've been banned is because of copyrighted intellectual property, which they will not describe to me what exactly is the problem, what the reason is. So, because of that, they just completely disabled my own personal account, so I have no access to it on my personal account, so I've now had to make another one. So if you're wondering why I'm gone, that's the reason why. Yeah. But X-Bomb, yeah, Mark Zuckerberg and his robotic ass has apparently said, no more using a video and or pictures. I'm not telling you, though, what you did wrong. And he's being like a parent. Like, well, I need you to tell me what you think you did wrong. It's like, how about you just tell me what I did wrong, let me do my punishment, and then we all go about our lives.
Liz Squad, baby. Lizard Squad, baby.
Lizard Squad. He
Lizard
does
Squad,
blink.
stand
You
up.
watch it. He does blink sideways. His eyelids do blink sideways.
Did you not see him in court just sipping the water, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Recharge it.
Yeah. That's not water, man. That's oil. That's what it is. Synthetic oil. Because otherwise his gears lock up, and then he starts ticking like this, and then, you know, our programmers. Yeah. So thanks, Facebook, but no thanks. We're not interested in your deal. YouTube and Twitch are the best places to be at, ladies and gentlemen, and we appreciate you guys so much for not kicking us off the air yet.
Oh my God!
I'm looking at you, Scotty. Do not say the wrong words. We want to stay on the air. Okay? Just making sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. let's get into these games, and then we'll get into some fan questions. So, first one we've got, it is the AFC Championship game. We've got Kansas City taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore favored right now by 3.5 points. It is dropped since it was at 4 last time, or 4.5, I think, when it started. It's now dropped to 3.5. The over-under, though, sitting at 44.5. Boys, I throw it to you. Scotty started off, man. Who are you picking on this one?
Look, man, I can't go against the Ravens right now. They're so good. They're getting Mark Andrews back. They look dominant in that second half against the Texans after a slow start.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't go against them. I think one matchup that I was talking about with a couple people around here was, I said, Travis Kelce had a good game last week against the Bills.
Yeah.
I'm still sad. But the problem with the Bills is they don't have good linebackers. They're all out with injury. They lost Tremaine Edmonds over the offseason.
That's right.
Matt Milano's out for the season.
Mm-hmm.
So Travis Kelce was able to have himself a game.
Yeah.
This week, he's got to go up against either Patrick Queen or Roquan Smith. And I don't see him having a huge game when being covered by those two.
Okay.
Or anyone else in that. I mean, if Kyle Hamilton decides to come down in a sub-linebacker role, I could see that even. I think that makes everyone else need to play better.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen the wide receivers for the Chiefs not play as good this season, so I'm going Ravens this week.
Okay. I didn't even think about that matchup with Travis Kelce and the linebacker. I like Travis Kelce versus Kyle Hamilton. I like that matchup, I think, as like the one to look for, because Hamilton's big enough and strong enough he can take on Kelce.
And
Nick,
he's great in coverage.
Yeah, he is. He definitely is. Nick, what about you, man?
I saw that the spread came down a half a point, and I thought that was the world yesterday. So I was able to lock in Ravens. Honestly, I was able to lock in Ravens -3 yesterday, and I think that's the entire world, because that's a whole nother possession right there. If you need 3.5,
Absolutely,
it's gone up already a whole point. So it's either at 3.5 or 4, depending on what you're looking at. I'm going to go with the Ravens, similar to Scotty. I mean, they're firing all cylinders. There was a similar spread last week where, everyone's going to throw it around. I've been doing it myself, too. Patrick Mahomes is 9-1-1 against the spread as an underdog. But this is a different Kansas City Chiefs team meeting a brand-new Ravens squad that is just ready to smother and cover every single aspect of this lackadaisical, not meeting up to what it's supposed to, this Kansas City Chiefs offense that loves to stall in the red zone. So, Again, similar spread last week, but this is a much better team compared to the Ravens and the Bills. I'm going to go with the Ravens by a mile.
Okay, all right, I like that.
What's the over/under sitting at right now?
It's gone back down to 44.5. It was at 45.
Wow.
I think that's supposed to be weather.
Okay.
Yeah,
Win
they're
conditions.
counting.
I know you said last week that Lamar Jackson goes under in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Last week he obviously went over.
Right.
So I don't even know what I like for that one, because it's Mahomes. You never know if he can just keep the score going.
That's right.
And obviously we've seen the Ravens score,
And it's in Baltimore, obviously. It's not in Kansas City.
I don't even know about that one.
If I'm looking at a prop this week, I like Patrick Mahomes passing. From what I understand, he's never thrown less than 280 yards against the Ravens. His number's currently at 240, 243.5. So
Okay.
I think that's a nice line if you want to throw that into your little, if you got a parlay going, if you just want an individual spot right there.
Yeah, that's not bad. I like that. I like that. I'm going the opposite of you guys. I'm going to go with Kansas City.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Really so.
The big thing for me is that, obviously I like Lamar a lot. I don't hate on him. I question him a lot, of course, but I like Lamar, and I like the way that he plays, especially now. I think Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator, has done a great job with him. They've certainly transformed that team around into a very special team right now, obviously, and they've done a great job, and now they're getting back Mark Andrews, which is big. Obviously, though, there's going to be questions about how much can he go? Can he go fully? Is he going to be able to be the standout performer? Because
Isaiah Likely's proven that he could step up still.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think you'll see a lot more two tight ends, so they'll give Mark Andrews a break, be able to kind of say, well, if Andrews is going to draw the double team, we get the single matchup with Isaiah Likely, so he can just throw the ball to him. My big thing is, I said this on Blow the Whistle, I said the big matchup I think to look for, Travis Kelce, Kyle Hamilton, I think is going to be one now to look for. The one I said was L'Jarius Sneed versus Zay Flowers, right? Rookie wide receiver versus top 5 shutdown corner right now via man-on-man or zone. He can do both. I mean, he's been a guy that can just get the ball out of the hands of the receiver. That, I think, is going to be the big matchup. The quarterbacks are going to perform. Lamar is going to run for good yards. He's going to throw really well. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be able to set it up and make some really good pass plays. This is going to be a ball out. I'm going to say Kansas City. I think they hit by 3, and then I will say, I think it hits the under because the defenses are just stacked with talent.
I love the under in this game.
Yeah.
It opened at 46.5. It's at 44, and I'll still take it if it was at 42 or something like that.
Absolutely. If it dips
number
below
2 and
40,
number 3 defense going up against each other.
Yeah.
And then more than likely not. Some people are already kind of looking at this as whoever wins this game might win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's very possible. I mean, and both sides, by the way, have people that are going to be banged up, right? Marlon Humphrey on one side, Nick Bolton's on the other for the Chiefs. I mean,
Willie Gay.
Willie Gay is also, who knows if he's going to be able to go. I mean, there's injuries across the board for both sides, so this could be a defensive stalemate, or it could be a fun shoot the ball back and forth kind of thing that goes into maybe like an OT or something like that. Which, I think either way, it's going to be a fun one. I can't wait to see it. And last but not least, of course, the NFC Championship game.
Can I throw in one more? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, please, Nick.
Can I throw in one more, another side little thing?
Go for it.
I'm looking at Justice Hill props. Again, call me crazy,
okay.
Call me degenerate. I like just for the idea that this could be, on the ground and not explosive. I like his total yardage at 52.5 because they like to throw the ball to him. He could also, take touches away from Gus Edwards.
Right.
They're just gonna be. I think the Ravens are just gonna run the ball.
Okay.
They're gonna run and run and run.
You know what? I like that. And Hill's one of their more explosive players. They like to, like you said, they like to get him out. He can play receiver, running back. He can kind of do it all. He's even I think he should be a solid punt and kick returner if they just give him a chance.
He's had an 80-yard reception this year.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the go-to. So
I like that. All right, there you go, folks. There's your parlay tips for if you're looking for from No Gimmicks Nick Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. So, so the NFC Championship game, we've got Detroit at San Francisco. San Francisco's a full touchdown favorite. The over-under is at 50.5. Gents, for the NFC Championship game, Lions, 49ers, who you picking?
Everything's coming up Lions right now. They're playing out of their minds in the postseason. The story going with them is incredible. There's Jared Goff turning around his career, Aiden Hutchinson being the hometown guy, stepping up for his team. Yeah, that all stops this week because you can't get past the machine of the San Francisco 49ers.
Wow.
Obviously, if Deebo Samuel, his situation is kind of up in the air right now. It's kind of leaning toward him not playing. But I still feel like no matter what, you can't go against the machine that is the 49ers offense.
Okay.
So I'm going with them.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the Niners too. I'm not liking how much me and Scotty are agreeing upon stuff this week, but
I'm the Larry Krenz Award winner, so maybe it is a good reason.
I don't acknowledge what that is. I'll be honest, very surprised when I saw the opening line at 7, just because the Niners weren't firing on all cylinders, they made the Packers and Jordan Love look exceptionally well.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of pulling it back a little bit. I can see it where even without Debo, where the Niners can just come out and just look a little bit better than they did. Weather might not be a factor. 70 degrees over in Levi Stadium. I might take the Lions to cover the 7 just to sprinkle it on that, but give me the Niners to win the game.
And
okay.
Let me say this real quick, because this is a big thing on Twitter after the game last week.
Yeah.
People are saying that was a career-defining drive for Brock Purdy to win the game against the Packers. Just stop talking. Stop talking. Stop.
If they come out of this with a Super Bowl, it's going to look a lot better. If
career-defining.
For him, it might, because who knows how. Here's the thing. Who knows how his career is going to be, because you think about it, like, all the superstars on that 49ers team are starting to hit that point where, age is going to start taking effect, body's going to start feeling it, right? I mean, McCaffrey's almost at 30. You got Trent Williams, who's 35, going to be 36. Like, you got guys that are going to be up in age, and if they retire and or they start to break down, is Brock Purdy going to be the same guy? So that could be quite literally his career-defining drive, because he might not have much of a career after it. I'm not saying that's the case, but you never know.
You never know.
You never know. So for now, yes, career-defining drive, sure.
No.
But what you were doing before the game, by the way, before that drive, he looked terrible.
That's why I'm saying that.
He
It's
did
like,
not
he
look
looked
good.
terrible.
The comparisons to Joe Montana are completely
Yeah, no,
out
that
of pocket.
come on,
Yeah,
no.
Stop.
No.
But for that game, that was the most important drive. He got it done. You're gonna have to just that's just that. It's just simply.
Listen,
It's just that.
Highlight.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just that. Nothing more. It was a great highlight.
Absolutely. Listen, at the end of the day, for me, this is Jared Goff taking on Jimmy Garoppolo 2.0.
Oh wow.
That's how I'm viewing this. Is Brock Purdy is just another clone of what we see in Jimmy Garoppolo. He doesn't have to do a lot. I would say he's more athletic. I think he has a little bit of a better arm than Jimmy Garoppolo, but I just don't think he's surpassed that level of being like an above average quarterback that's in the top of the league, but I wouldn't put him past. I mean, I'd put him right there with maybe like Kirk Cousins in terms of a quarterback. I mean, above Ryan Tannehill and Daniel Jones as far as QBs go. I mean, I like the Lions in this. I think they have good chemistry. I think they have the energy. I think, yes, their defensive backs have not been good, but at the same time, their pass rush does a really great job, and if you get a good enough pass rush,
Flying a little too close to the sun as C.J. Gardner-Johnson is really hyped up on Instagram Live, calling out Debo. He was really hyped during the Baker Mayfield interception, threw the ball in his face. I mean, I get it. You're really excited. There's a ton of pressure.
Right.
There's a lot of eyes on you being in Detroit, but man, oh man. Something's going to happen where there's just too much, and all that's going to go away.
Remember, he's Mr. Instigator.
Yeah.
He gets everybody. He gets under everybody's skin. Let's not forget about it was him and Javon Wims, where he made Javon Wims go crazy and start punching him in the face. The guy knows how to, and that's the thing. If you can get under the other guy's skin, you can win the game. Yeah. And he's the one guy who I feel like Debo, he could easily do it too. Kittle might be a guy, and Kittle's a hard guy to crack.
Kittle's gonna have to be. He's gonna be a huge factor if Debo doesn't go this week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Debo out. That means Kittle and Ayuk have to step up. McCaffrey's gonna have.
McCaffrey's gonna do McCaffrey things regardless.
Oh yeah,
whatever happens. But
he's gonna have the perfect game.
Yeah,
though.
Kittle's need to come out. He's not been completely silent. He caught that touchdown last week, but just overall in the season, you haven't seen prime Kittle as of late.
No, yeah, he's stepped up in the second half of the season. He's looked a lot better, and in the playoffs, he's been a big factor. I like the Lions in terms of the team that they have out there right now. Just feels like there's a toughness to them right now that they can overcome. What the 49ers put against them, the Lions, I think, can be like, well, we're just going to dish it right back, right? We can go touchdown for touchdown. I don't think these two teams are that far off from each other.
No.
Other than the 49ers obviously have some Pro Bowl players, high caliber athletes.
Did you see that with the media member? Like, yeah, you guys got some good players.
Yeah,
the Niners have some really good players.
Right.
And Jared Goff is like, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, gee, thanks, bud.
Hey,
no,
let me say something, Andrew. I don't want to try to skew the way you're thinking. But
Yeah.
Jared Goff in his last 5 starts versus the 49ers, 0-5. A 21 total QBR and a 5.8 yards per attempt.
I did see that. I did, and certainly that is like yellow flag, right? Yellow flag because if you're gonna choose the Lions, you got to understand like that's a big moment where you're asking a lot from. But this is a team I think that is formed enough that he can go out there and. He just has to make sure to not make big mistakes. You can make a mistake, but just make sure it's not the costliest of costlies, right? Make sure it's not a pick six that's at the end of the game or anything like that. Like, use your weapons, right? Get Sam Laporta in there as long as he's healthy and good to go. Otherwise, you've got Zach Ertz. You can move up into the roster. Utilize him over the middle, right? Use Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds. Use these pieces you have. Use Jamison Williams to continue to stretch the field. Use these pieces, and I think the Lions can win. I'm going to say the Lions by 1. I'm going to keep it real close on this one. I'm going to say Lions by 1. I think they can do enough. And again, this all depends on if Debo's going, right? Because this I think is predicated on the idea that Debo's possibly going for a touchdown. He doesn't go. That line certainly I think drops on terms of the spread, and that over/under probably drops too. I'm going to say this probably hits the under though. I just
51.5.
That's got to be an over.
I don't know.
Two high-powered offenses, And in my
True.
opinion, I could see the 49ers winning by 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
If they catch the Lions on a bad day, they can definitely make it a little bit of a blowout in this game.
Sure. Yeah.
I can see it being like 31-17, but even then you still hit the under at 48. So I mean that could be the thing.
Yeah.
I'm really liking Sam Laporta to have a touchdown. They've been keying in on him in the red zone. The Lions
Absolutely.
have. So if you can snag him at, I see plus 180 is the best one.
That dude is just George Kittle in a Lions uniform. That's
Yeah.
all he is. He's just George Kittle in a Lions uniform.
Yeah, I thought this one was also one of the more intriguing lines. Just of all 4 quarterbacks, Brock Purdy has the highest total in passing yards. He has it at, or not on the year, but just on his line this week, 279.5 compared to 208.5 for Lamar Jackson, sitting at like 240 for Patrick Mahomes, and right in front of me I got Jared Goff at 260.
Okay.
So Brock Purdy, I get it. I mean,
Yeah.
the Lions secondary is trash, but is it that bad for Brock Purdy?
It's not that bad.
I wouldn't.
It's not that bad.
It's not great, but it's not terrible.
I
We've
think
seen
they could be
worse.
banking on the fact that, yes, Brock Purdy could have a couple of moments like that, or it could
Yeah.
just be the explosiveness of that offense. If you just give Debo, or you just give anybody the ball at the 5-yard line, they can go for another 35 yards after that.
I mean,
Merchant.
this team has so many weapons. Like at any moment, right? You can do the end around to Debo that throws the pass to George Kittle that then flips it off on a play to Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, that little
so many weapons.
The little cheapy dump pass.
Yeah,
that counts as that
nice little
pass in the
shovel
home
pass
corner.
off,
the shovel
yeah.
pass.
Hey, Travis Kelce said that's got to be used more.
Yeah.
All right? I agree with him.
I
agree.
He's barely
I
a
saw
football-
Josh Allen do it last week. I agree with it.
He's barely a football player. He's a podcaster at this point.
Nah, that's just
Wow.
his brother. He quit his day job to become a podcaster.
I'm just a hater.
Hey, look, if I was Taylor Swift's wife too, I would be happy with that. She's the breadwinner in that family. Boom!
That was gold.
From the top rope.
Got nothing in my brain.
Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce are gonna kill me.
There is no X-Bomb Sports new.
Hey,
collab
look,
in the
if they came
future.
busting through those doors right now, you keep those cameras rolling and see me get black and blue.
Oh,
I
I'm
do
hopping
not
on
care.
a camera and I'm panning it toward.
I'm
them.
selling. We're selling that to TMZ. We're getting famous and getting that money. Believe that.
They would rip you in half and drink.
And I'm gonna
your
keep
spinal
yelling that
fluid.
too. You're Taylor Swift's wife. I don't care. Just keep getting beat. Yeah. So I'm gonna take the Lions on. I'm gonna take the Lions by 1. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the under on that. And that's going to do it for the sports side of things. And I think we'll just get in one quick fan question, and then we'll get ourselves out of here. What do you think of Julie? No, I'm just kidding. No. I did, because we were talking about cars here recently, we did get an email from somebody who was actually talking about an incident that happened with their car, and they were wondering about us. This comes from Michael. Michael is from Iowa. And Michael said about a week ago, this was like a month ago. So he says, about a week ago, I was driving my car and all of a sudden it started to smoke. And the next thing I know, I pulled over to the side and all of a sudden, as I was trying to fix my car, I pulled off to the side of the road and somebody came out of nowhere and smashed up my car. So my question to you guys is, what's one of the worst things that's ever happened to your car in terms of breakdown or accident or anything like that? Have you ever had something like that happen to you? P.S. I am okay. Everybody was fine in the crash and everything. The person was just on their phone, shocker, in the incident.
I'm just surprised we still have viewers from Iowa after you a couple weeks ago.
Hey, listen, I didn't diss Iowa. I
That's
said-
why we got banned off Facebook.
Yeah, right, yeah. The Des Moines group really got us, baby.
I don't know.
Any? I got plenty. My best one is I had my first car was a blue 1999 Ford Escort. It was my father's car, and I took that thing all the way to the very end of that with that car. Was driving back up from Tennessee after hanging out with some friends. I'm going back home. I pull off to the side of the road just to kind of chill, and then I see the car steaming, so I try to take care of that and everything. And and the next thing I know, I kind of go over to the side to have a little pee break, and then I just hear, and my car exploded into a ball of fire just out of nowhere. I'm looking at this thing that's just like engulfed in flames, and I'm just going, ha! What?
I was just in there.
Yeah, I was.
So you
Oh,
have to pee.
I was.
On fire.
I was free. Yeah, and I was like in the midst of peeing still too. Like I'm looking back and I'm like, oh no, this is not good.
You just couldn't break the stream. You're like, I can't go.
No, I
help
could.
it right
I was
now."
like, well, even in my mind, I'm like, well, if you turn around, this isn't gonna help. Like, and then somebody finally pulled over and they're like, your car's on fire. I was like,
No.
I was like, oh, no kidding, Sherlock. Gee, thanks.
Should have peed on it to put it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Piss on it. Piss on it.
Well, and then this dude gets out of the car and he's like, I got a water bottle, and it's like one of those like sort of big jugs that you would drink, and he like starts trying to throw it on there, and it's like, not gonna help me at all, man.
It's a fireball.
It was the fire department was just like, what did you do? And I was like, I didn't do anything, because I'm an 18-year-old kid driving up from Nashville. Like, for all they know, like, oh, he left a joint in the car, or he left a cigarette in the thing and it caught on fire. I'm like, I did nothing. Like, this thing just exploded. And then apparently later they looked at it, they're like, oh yeah, you had a gas line leaking in the vehicle. And I was like, oh, cool.
How was I supposed to know that?
Yeah, exactly. Like, how would I ever have known that? And they're just like, yeah, apparently when you pulled up to the side of the road, it caught on fire and whoosh. And I was like, oh, whoosh, yeah, right.
The technical term.
Yeah, so
It
was...
just kind of went kaboom.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like I said, all I heard was just... And I was like, what the hell is going on? And I looked back and it's like, oh, barbecue. Cool, awesome.
He said barbecue.
Yeah, roasted escort. Anybody want some?
But clearly dealing with the scholars in Nashville over there. With the
Yeah, right, yeah. Unbelievable.
We love you, Nashville.
We love you, Nashville. You're great.
We
Tennessee's
love all
awesome.
cities in the United States.
Yes.
All cities matter.
All
This
guy said all cities matter.
That's about as political as we're getting on this show. All
Unless you're
cities
Flint.
matter. Well, I don't know. There's some in the South I've passed through that were not very friendly.
Gary, Indiana.
Man. No, what is it? Wherever that Westboro Baptist Church is at, or whatever it is, those crazy people that are always with the picket signs for gay people and everything. We went through that town a while back in Arkansas. They're all over the place. They're crazy. That town is not friendly. If you're from the north, they're not friendly at all.
What about the church in Dixon, Illinois?
Oh yeah, that one. They're insane too. Yeah, they're a crazy
You know
group
what
as
I'm talking
well.
about?
I am not aware.
Look
Yeah.
up Dixon, Illinois church.
Yeah,
It's-
they're.
Have you guys ever seen it? Have you
Is that
guys
the
ever
people
seen
who
it?
used to come with the bus to Chicago?
Man, I'm telling you. Yeah, that was like the craziest car story I ever had. Was just my car just exploding out of nowhere, and just some dude being like, "Your car's on fire." So
No, really?
yeah, no kidding.
Thanks, man.
Any for you guys? Anything at all?
I got one. It's not really.
Within the realm, you don't like. I don't want anybody getting in trouble.
Oh,
You know,
no.
you don't have to divulge anything you don't want to.
No, it's nothing where anybody would get in trouble. It was just an experience where I was working at the mall, and my grandfather got arrested, so helped me get this '89 Cadillac Seville 4-door.
Ooh.
Leather, supercharged.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a big boss back then. At least everybody thought I was.
With that kind of car, amen.
But I end up, talking to this girl, and she was impressed by my car. And in the midst of talking and trying to go out, because I was working at the mall at the time, so I met her while I was at work. She came to the job when I was getting off. I told her I'll follow her to her house, and then we'll go out,
Yeah.
So on the way to her house, I guess it was my heat or my antifreeze went out, and my window was just like totally froze over. So I lost her in transition, and I never saw her again.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. So if you're out there, it's me.
Wow. Wow.
I don't know. She was hot.
That might have been for all you know, Bijan, that might have been the car telling you something.
Oh. I don't know. I would have rather scored, but I'll go with it.
You know what? I feel that. I do feel that, man. Because you can take it like it's a sign. It's like, yeah, but man, like I had another sign going the right way. Like it was going my way, and then the car was like, nope, freezing up. We're not doing this.
The car was a total hater.
The car was a hater.
The car was a hater.
It's all right. Now you're on X-Bomb Love Island.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But Julius is gonna take all the women, so.
Yeah.
Hey, for all we know, I might get more emails. I mean, We just gotta let people know we single. That's all.
If you did send those emails, please keep sending the emails for Julius.
Yes.
If you guys want to find me, go ahead.
Stalk me all you want. Next episode, he'll be in the back with a car.
Message him and send your photo, or at least let him be able to see you. So, because you didn't send any pictures, so I don't know who you are. You sent me suitor names, so we don't know who you are.
Julius also accepts the numbers on the front and front expiration date of your credit card, including those last 3 digits on the back. Those stupid little digits, they don't mean anything. Just send them with the information.
You can find him at Juju Man of the Night at gmail.com.
Juju Knight in Shining Armor.
Hey man.
We will be doing a 20 versus 1. I don't know if your audience is familiar with that, but we're gonna get this guy.
Y'all want to take part? Y'all can.
We're selling this guy.
Hey, we can do a game show if fans are interested. I mean, we can figure this out. But we need submissions then. We need to figure this out then. We will let you know then if that's the case.
X-Bomb Connect.
Yes, exactly.
X-Bomb Connect.
Fuse of the heart or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure something out.
Boom Crew only. Or what? Boom Crew Connect.
Recruiting.
He's just sitting back here like, I can't believe you.
Right.
He was back there doing the
I was gonna say, Julius, were you flexing a little bit back there, kind of showing the glutes off a little bit?
Oh,
giving him the glutes. Hey, there you go. That should satisfy. Yeah, that should satisfy those fans for a little while longer.
So many women just screen recorded.
Right.
Just screen recorded.
I just Snapchat real quick, like, oh, let me get that real fast.
My eyes are up here gimmick. Yeah.
Not at the chest. Bro, we can make a joke too.
Look, there you go, Terry Crews. He was practicing that.
Woo! There.
That's all right.
Come on, how can you not?
Back here, holy crap.
Again, it's still not the weirdest we've ever gotten on this show. If you can believe that. For the OG fans, they know what's up. They know how weird we used to get with it. So, I mean, yeah, if you guys are interested in talking to any more of us, we all have social media and stuff. We'll get that stuff out there for you guys.
Dang,
so.
he's really trying to set up X-Bomb Mingle.
Listen, man, these dating sites are not working for me, so I'm trying to use him as like, all right, exactly, like, all right, who doesn't like Julius?
Tinder.
I can like come around with too, like.
Tell me about it. I'm banned on Tinder, and I've never had a Tinder.
What do you mean you're banned on Tinder?
So listen, you want to hear something?
Okay.
I actually can't get a Tinder. I don't know why. So when I signed up for a Tinder, it made me put in. Like, it made me actually take a picture of my ID to prove my age. I was 19. Right. But now I'm 20. I still can't get a Tinder. It just tells me, like, you need to send in a picture. So I'll send in a picture. It'll go to review. Next time I log in, it'll just be like, you need to send a picture. It's going to go to review. I'm like, bro, come on.
Scotty, did you say something?
No, I've never been on Tinder.
Yeah.
I've never been on Tinder.
I remember you pulled up that whole Twitter or whatever it was about the bed.
Pickup lines.
Yeah, pickup lines.
You probably used one of those.
Did you use one? And
no,
you just don't
I've never been on Tinder.
Well,
I have
Tinder.
unspoken Riz, Andrew. It's unspoken because I haven't used it.
Now he said Riz.
Ain't nobody else ever heard of it.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. No one's heard it.
Well, there's
the Bumble then. I don't know.
Yeah, Bumble, Plenty of Fish. Like, I mean.
Popping again.
Yeah. I mean, is OkCupid still a thing? I don't even know.
Hinge
might be good. Hinge is one where I'm.
Find Juju Man of the Night.
Find Juju on Hinge.
We've got him.
There you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You want to find Big J, you can find him on Hinge.
He's going to turn his radius to 500 miles just for you guys.
Oh,
just for you guys.
Trust me, if we start getting messages on when you guys start streaming Tony Smalls and Big J, don't be surprised.
I don't need those problems.
Hey, it's viewers. It's viewers. You just gotta come in with the sleeveless, you know.
Every episode?
Yeah, every
Every
episode.
episode.
Because you gotta start in full shirt, and then you gotta like slowly,
No, you come in.
slowly come off with it.
Okay, do a game like if I scream, I gotta take a piece of clothing off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just come in a fishnet shirt, bro. I know you got plenty of them.
The next episode, he's just shirtless.
Is that it? We're just
This
gonna.
is how he starts. He goes, "Welcome back to Tony Small and Big J."
If you guys want, I mean, we can do a full episode, but we're just in tight tees all day if you want. I don't mind.
I don't get paid enough for that.
Called building an audience.
Yeah. Come on,
Yo,
Scotty.
X-Mom Sports calendar shoot.
Wait. We get paid?
No, that's the
Mr.
point.
Lobo.
That's the point. That's the point.
Oof, it's getting warm.
Ugh,
I think
yeah.
we gotta end the show.
It's getting hot on the boom. It's getting hot. Spice. Send to the Cash App, Julius.
Guys are gonna
dating site.
I'm gonna start getting emails from people being like, "Wait, you're not paying them? Like,
No,
you're such
For
a
the record,
ripoff."
for the record, we do this out of love. We do this for the
I appreciate
experience,
that.
And, we do it for
And
the
listen,
company.
I am trying to get us paid here, folks. Okay, I am, and perhaps at some point we may set up a Patreon, and if you guys want to support that, we will definitely put that up there for sure. So.
Patreon's gonna be called X-Bomb Mingle, and it's strictly to support
love
Julius pay for dates. That's what it is. All the money you guys send will be spent on dates with an X-Bomb Boom Crew fan.
There you go. There you go. You get
There you
one-on-one
go.
time with us.
I'm
I'm gonna get all the dudes that just want to talk sports and yell at me. That's all I'm gonna get. Just like, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, I just wanted a steak. You want chicken? Like,
You go to like.
if I get you a
go
beer,
to,
will you stop yelling at me?
You go to like Cooper's Hawk or something. And
Yeah,
they're just
exactly,
like-
yeah.
You pay for a nice dinner, and they're just like, so Ben Simmons, like.
Yeah. So here's what you
goat.
said about the Bears and Justin Fields. Oh God.
They just come in as like, you know what? I would take the 85 Bears over any team.
Yeah,
It's like, all right,
I just
cool, bro.
Cool. You want a stout? What do you want, buddy? Like,
Can I get the chicken, please?
yeah. More wine, please. I'm gonna need it. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for the show here, folks. So we can get out of here and rest and relax. Thank you again for the question. Appreciate it, man. Sorry that happened to your car. Hope all the best for you in that
Breaking
regard.
news, if it means anything for you.
Okay.
Chiefs ruling out All-Pro guard Joe Thuney for the game, as well as Sky Moore and Derek Nady. So there you go. Hopefully,
Okay.
I don't know if that's going to go into any of your consideration for the AFC Championship. but there
Thuney
you
definitely will, because he's been a great blocker for them in the run and the pass, so that's going to be big. But all right, so that I'm still going to stick with the Chiefs, but that's why I'm saying by one.
Seen when the Chiefs, when the pass rush gets to Mahomes, it gets a little dicey.
We've seen it before. We've definitely seen it before. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for our show. Thank you all so much for watching and listening, as always. If you want to follow us anymore, you can follow us at XB Sports on Twitter, on Instagram. You can still follow us on the Facebook page. We're just not streaming there, so I will get that back. Don't worry. So you can follow us on all that social media there. If you want to follow myself and send me any of your romantic love letters, ladies. Or gentlemen, I guess. I don't know if you want to. Hey, listen, I'll listen to everybody's loves and likes. I don't care. But yeah, I'm at the Fluffy Guru on Twitter. I'm also at Boom Crew Captain on Instagram. If you guys want to talk to me anymore, yell at me, whatever the case is. Again, Twitch, YouTube is where we're going to be streaming, so you can find us at twitch.tv/xbombsports or at youtube.com/xbombsports as well for the Twitches or for the streams. And obviously, if you have any questions or comments, we can also find us as well at xbsportsofficial@gmail.com too for, these kind of questions you want to ask us, or obviously if you want to try and figure out if one of us is single or not, or I don't know what particular vegetable would work nicely with what, position. Oh yeah, we got one of those emails too.
Wait, what was the question?
It pertained to vegetables and positioning.
Oh.
Stephen Hawking.
I'm not old. Oh my God!
And that came from a guy named Tyler, and not our Tyler, so. Yeah, I'm calling you out, weirdo. That's good. That one might be saved for the podcast, for the Aftershock podcast. Also, too, guys, as well as all that stuff, make sure if you want to also American Cancer Society, please go donate. We really I appreciate all you guys who have been being able to donate, saying you've been able to do so, and at least share it out, get the message out. I appreciate it. I promise you. It means a lot to me. This is something that I've certainly kind of dove into. I want to be able to help raise awareness on as well. And even though we don't have the lower thirds for it, St. Jude's Children's Hospital as well, please go donate as well. The links are in the descriptions down below. We want you guys to be able to do everything you can, either, help donate for the cause or at least even sharing it and try and raise awareness for it. We do appreciate it. Other than that, you guys, thank you so much in the back. Appreciate it. Promote away, ladies and gentlemen, starting with you, Nick, and going to your guys' left. What do you got?
It's twitch.tv/SportsTownShy basically every day. No substitute for sports on Thursdays. We're on Blow the Whistle as well now. So that's basically that. Monday and Wednesdays for Blow the Whistle. Thursdays for No Substitute for Sports Live. And then Bad Karma Wrestling on the Fridays. So there you go. There you have it. So
these guys did a great job today with Bad Karma. I wasn't here, but they were killing it.
Yeah, tons
today.
of fun on that one. That was a really good episode of today. I feel like that was a good one. So yeah, like I said, twitch.tv/SportsTownShy for everything all the time. Thank you.
Here's my socials, because I actually have mine. I'll set up everyone else's here next week.
Yes.
When we come in here.
You don't get special attention,
now we're
Scotty.
all talking, so it's like now I'll be able to set everyone else up.
Absolutely.
I'll get you guys on there. But yeah, so ScottyKO3 on Twitter. Also 4-Star Sports on Tuesdays. Pitch Talk on Thursdays. We had breaking news, of course, right after I end the show, because that's like a common theme with everyone here.
That's just the usual.
Yeah, so you can hear me talk about soccer, because we're never going to get to that here.
We might. Maybe.
All right, I'm Bajorn the Baron. You can follow me at Bajorn the Baron on all social media platforms. I got a show with my brother in the back, Juju. That's why I'm trying to sell him so much. We spend too much time together doing podcasts. But yeah, it's called Twin Talk. And that's pretty much it. Stay tuned.
Okay.
And then last but not least, the sex symbol.
He's squaring up into the camera.
Oh my god, he's so Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. Please stop. Please stop. Let me get my
Let Julius get his thing out, and then
I need the praise.
Yeah.
Boost my self-esteem. All right. You can find me with my partner Tony Smalls every Thursday on our YouTube and Twitch, Big J X Tony Smalls, or Tony Smalls X Big J. Let me fix that.
There you go.
And then also every Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock, we also have a show called I Can Relate. So if you guys want to talk about mental health, what's been going on lately, and just new up and coming events, come check us out. Also, like my brother said right here, we have our show Twin Talk, Gemini Gang. Yeah, so that I'll be. I think we're shooting for Wednesday on that, and
awesome.
Also come check me out if you guys are bigger guys. Y'all need to learn how to dress better. You want to just dress better, make yourself feel a bit more confident. Come check me out at Juju the Gemini, and that's JUJUXDAXGEMINI. And I'm here for you guys, so whatever you guys want to use to improve your style, or you got any questions, make sure you guys hit me up in my DMs.
Notice how he put 3 X's in his name.
Whoa!
The man's a gigolo.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. If you look at Julius's page, man, he is styling. Yeah. You want to style, man? That man knows how to dress.
Oh, he's just got 5 women followers.
Oh,
joining.
Oh yeah, can you say it again?
And I just
say it again for the women at home. Say it real slow for the women at home.
It's
Hold on. Get some theme music going.
It's J. U.
It's Big J.
Y'all acting up, bro. But yeah, J.
Hey, I didn't start this, okay? That's the fans. I don't know what to tell you.
You brought it up.
By the way, I want to clarify something, too. I hope that you are single sending this stuff, because if you're not, you're going to get in trouble. And don't get our man in trouble here either. I just want to clarify that.
And
our younger viewers.
Yes, and our young, yes.
I'm single if you like girls, because I have, me and my partner are one. and she likes girls. So.
Oh damn! He said it's open. You feel me?
Listen,
you can come join the team.
At this point for this show, anything goes at this point. So,
I have to put it out there because if she sees this and I don't mention her,
Yeah, on me.
Hey,
you didn't say that one time that you.
I don't
were
want
single.
anybody getting in trouble. I don't want anybody getting in any more trouble than they need to. Okay.
I ain't fighting no husbands. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I ain't fighting nobody. I ain't fighting nobody.
I don't think I fighting you. I'm like, who you cheating with? Oh, never, man. Have a good time, dog.
You guys want anything? You guys need anything?
Y'all need some honey packs.
Oh my God!
You know what? You think the show would be derailed, but considering some of the emails I get from you guys, it's right on point with what you guys ask us anyway. So
It's a little bit more tamed though.
oh yeah, oh trust me, they get these people. I love you guys, but my goodness,
I like peaches.
freaky.
I like peaches.
That's why we love the X Bomb Boom crew, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely go follow those guys. Also, to check them out with all their shows, everything they going on. A few of them even got a movie going here soon, and I've kind of been writing a script myself, so maybe sometime in the near future we might be doing something. A lot of people going to die in the movie, I'm just going to say that. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you for being amazing supporters, being great fans. We couldn't do this without you. We're going to get out of here. We're going to go eat, go sleep, do what we got to do. Maybe go meet up with some ladies. We'll see what happens. But as always, I can't thank you guys enough for everything. We will see you guys next week. And as always, much love and peace out, Boom Crew.